Hi there, everybody. Welcome to Coffee Breaks Thursdays with Jason Zalakis. I, of course, am your host, Jason Zalakis. Thank you for being here. Good to see you on this Thursday morning. I guess it's a cloudy day today in LA, live from Los Angeles. That's where we bring you the show every morning, every Thursday morning. Thursday mornings, Pacific Standard Time, of course. Every Thursday on Facebook, we do this show. If you like the show, Coffee Breaks Thursdays with Jason Zalakis, please tell your actor friends. Let's get tell your actor friends to watch the show. That's what the show's about. It's about acting, and so I'd love to have some of your friends join in and give us maybe some future guests. I know that producer Warren Madden is hard at work, bringing us wonderful guests week after week, and definitely want to give a shout out to producer Warren Madden. He hasn't even joined the show yet. I'm not sure he knows the show's at 11 on Thursdays. Oh, wait, he probably does. But anyway, moving right along today. Let's have some coffee. I think we've already had some here. Here we go. I'm still getting adjusted to my seating, as you can see, which is something I do. I guess. I don't know. Anyway, we just did our shout out to producer Warren Madden, who has now joined the show, but we just did that. So share the show with your friends, with actor friends, and let them know that we got a few spots lining up in May. We get pretty full, but we got a couple of spots. So let's get those actor people watching. Anyway, let's talk about it. Let's talk about what's going on. My week. My week is what it is, right? It is sometimes as an actor, there isn't work, and that's just something. And for me, this week I didn't have anything, and I auditioned for I had a huge audition, but I didn't land it. It was a really, really cool audition too. It actually was for the WWE, and not as a wrestler, but as a guy who would watch the show, which is more likely me than an actual wrestler or actually getting in the ring, but a guy who would actually watch the show. So it was a pretty cool promo spot, and I was hoping to land it, and of course I didn't, and that's just the way it goes. And and that's one of the things that I've been thinking about lately, as an actor, is really. Why do this? I think it's like the craziest job in the whole world. I really do. And I think that, I was talking to a friend of mine, and excuse me, the thing we were talking about is that, when you don't have a job, your job is applying for a job. But when you're an actor, even if you have a job, applying for a job is still your job. So do you want your job to be applying for jobs? Like, they didn't tell me that. Like, that's what this show is about, folks, is that no one tells you these things as an actor. No one says to you, hey, man, do you want to apply for jobs the rest of your life? They go, yo, you want to be an actor? And you see all this glitz and glamour, and you go, oh, man, that's got to be cool, or that's got to be fun, or whatever, right? Notoriety, or I just love portraying a character. There's something that draws you to it. But no one tells you that there's stuff like this, that there could be, there's months, there's weeks, there's years where you don't work. And all you do is apply for jobs. It's one of those things. And so that's what I'm feeling this week, and I didn't want to come on here and be like, but okay, so I recently heard about this thing, and we're gonna find out about this today on the show. Our guest today, again, shout out to Warren Madden for always bringing us quality guests. Our guest today, Traci Burr. And I got to tell you, I'm excited. She's somebody that I followed for a long time, pretty much since I got in the acting scene. And so I'm excited to finally talk to her. And I haven't met her. She lives here, I guess, somewhere in LA. I have no idea, but everyone lives here somewhere in LA or surrounding, and say LA, right? Like, nobody actually lives in San Francisco. I mean, maybe tech people, but most people just say they live in San Francisco. So, and I know that from experience. I've been saying it for years. So, now I say, oh, I live in LA, or surroundings, sure. But that's just how it goes. So anyway, we're excited to bring her on today. But one of the things we want to talk about before we move on to Handsome History, and I don't have this today because because I haven't been working. I don't have some huge miraculous stories to tell you. I don't have anything that was like wild this week. I don't have squirrel attacks. Just this week was mellow, man. And I wonder if that vibe is out there. But there's this thing coming up that I heard referred to in acting as the spring slowdown, where people right now, there's not a lot being produced. There's not TV shows being made. There's not pilots or films or, and I know there are some, but ultimately there's a lot less than normal. So there's what they call, I guess, the spring slowdown. And so is that a thing? Like, because I haven't experienced that. This is my first year in LA, and and I've always been working on commercials and stuff. I haven't experienced a slowdown. Of course, I've had one this week, so it made me wonder: is that a thing? Do you guys think the spring slowdown is a thing? Ask your actor friends. Talk to them. Is that something? And if so, what do you do? I mean, I know what I do. It's the same thing I always do, right? It's train and it's go to acting classes and stuff, which by the way I do, and it's continue to do those things, build my package and do those training things. So, I mean, is that what we all do? Is that what we all do all the time? And so a spring slowdown is just an excuse for us to go to the fair? I have no idea. So I've been trying to get to the beach, but like I said, it's been cloudy. I'm wearing my necklace today because I'm channeling the beach, and I look at the window because I don't live too far from the beach, and even though it's that way. I look out the window pretending it's that way. Who cares? Who knows? Who even knows what I'm doing? Nobody knows what I'm doing. Coffee Breaks Thursdays with Jason Zalakis. Handsome History. One of the things that I have is I don't always feel that confident, right? I don't feel like I'm that good looking. But when people tell me, they go, Jay, but you do Handsome History, so you must have some inclination. And right there, I had some moment where I went like this. Let's do Handsome History. In that moment, I was like, maybe I do think there's something there. Anyway, moving on with Handsome History. Here we go. Before we bring on our wonderful guest, Traci Burr, of course, coming up. And you can't wait. Like I said, I'm sure she's going to be a wonderful guest, and we'll it'll be pretty exciting. I don't want to give too much away. I guess I shouldn't have preluded to that. I don't want to give too much away, but she has a lot of improv experience, and so hopefully we'll get to see some of that in action. Of course, you never know with me. But did you know? We're going to Handsome History now. Here we go. I was inspired today by, of course, Coffee Breaks Thursdays. The show is coffee, so I decided let's find something out about coffee today. There was nothing. What's going on in the news was not inspiring to me. For Handsome History. I mean, I find myself when it comes to what's going on in the news lately using the word psychopath. Am I still on? It told me it was dropping the feed. The feed dropped, but it says I'm live. Am I back? Not yet? Still says I'm live. Nothing is happening on your guys' end. I'm back? Well, I guess we're back. I don't know what happened. You guys, poor connection, Facebook. This is another one of those things we deal with. Anyway, the producer is telling me to mention people. Yes, Warren. Okay, you're right. That's a good idea. I shouldn't. You're right. You're the boss. So anyway, let's get back to Handsome History. So what's going on in the news, as I was saying, is I'm not very inspired this week to sometimes like I was inspired once by the Ukraine and I've been inspired by things in the news. But today I'm not inspired by stuff in the news, man, but I do find myself using the word psychopath a lot more when I'm watching the news these days. There is some wild stuff going on with celebrities and people with too much money and whatever you're doing over there in Florida, Warren, God bless you. I don't know how you take it over there, man, but you guys are hanging in. Anyway, so what I was inspired today, before we get to our wonderful guest, is to tell you a little bit about coffee. In Sweden had a thing against coffee in the 1750s. They were like against it. And the reason they were against it is because people were acting a fool on coffee. They thought that it led to bad behavior and it was a commoner's drink. Believe it or not. I mean, you go tell those people waiting in line at Starbucks that they're waiting in line for a commoner's drink. But commoners would drink it in Sweden. And so King Gustav III, who came on in 1771, he really wanted to ban coffee. And he wanted to prove to people how dangerous coffee was. And so he pardoned, or well, not pardoned, but he offered 2 convicted murderers who were going to get hung or whatever they do to people in Sweden. Back then, I assume it's hang them, but they were going to get executed. And he offered them, he said, I'll tell you what, instead, to prove my point, one of you will drink 3 pots of coffee a day, and one of you will drink 3 pots of tea and will show people just how bad coffee is. Well, anyway, King Gustav died, and the doctors who were taking care of those dudes died, and both of those dudes continued to live. And the first one who died was the guy who drank tea. He died at 83 years old. The coffee guy, they don't even know how old he lived. But anyway, he outlived the entire experiment. Coffee Breaks Thursdays with Jason Zalakis. That was Handsome History. Traci Burr coming right up. Here we go. Shout out to Warren Madden, producer. Coffee Breaks Thursdays with Jason Zalakis.
Oh my God, Jason.
Hi, Traci.
Hi, Jason. Oh my gosh. Wow.
So
it's a pleasure to meet you finally.
Yes, and so you know what's amazing is that, as I was saying, you're one of the first people who, when I became an actor, I started following. You were wow. I saw you online, and and I was like, oh, she's an actor, and so like I don't know, you like accepted my friend request out of pity or something, and
no,
right, yeah,
no,
and so but you were one of the first people who I watched, like, and continue to watch, and it's amazing after like 4 years that we've never met. And
has it been like 4 years?
For me, I've been 4 years since I started modeling, 3 years since I've been an actor.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
But,
I think that's pretty common. Like, I'm Facebook friends with a lot of people, and then I'll see them at a party and I'll be like, oh, nice to meet you. And then I'm like, oh wait, aren't we Facebook friends already? So I don't think it's that weird.
Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah. Just to like network. And there was a time where I was like, I'm like, I need more friends. Like, I want to connect with more people, because I only had like, I don't know, 1,000 friends or something. So I just was like accepting a lot of people, especially actors, because I wanted to connect. So even if I didn't know them, it was like, yeah, let's connect. Why not? So yeah, it's not that strange, but.
Right. And now do you find, because I find myself, now that I'm reaching like 5,000 people and all this stuff, because with a little notoriety, you can go a long way on Facebook. Yeah. But I find myself being more choosy.
Yes. So I have 5,000 now, and I'm finding myself unfriending people that I have no contact or connection with. So, and especially if it's a dude that DMs me and is like, hey, baby, I just unfriend them because pass.
Right.
Not interested.
How often? I mean, because I get those all the time, and if you start the conversation with "Hey," I'm just like, oh, we're not even going there.
Yeah, it's like, what do you want?
Right.
Why are you messaging me?
Even if you're an actor, right? You have to have some pretext.
Yes. Hi, my name is so and so. I'm interested in collaborating, or whatever. That's more professional to me. Yeah.
Right. And I hate that sort of. I'm glad we talked about that, because I've never talked about like social media etiquette with an actor.
Oh, yeah.
And I think a lot of people don't know that. Even now, like, I get guys who pitch and they just come in with, hey, what are you doing? And I'm like, are you serious? Are you in an atrium? Where are you?
Oh, I'm in Georgia. I'm in look at what I'm working with here. Is this gorgeous?
Oh my God. Are you shooting a horror movie? Of
no,
course you are, right?
I'm on vacation, baby. I'm on vacation.
You're on vacation and you're still doing my show? Oh my God. Our show, Warren's show.
Are you kidding? I'm not gonna.
Oh my gosh.
Listen, Warren reached out to me. Oh gosh, he reached out to me like early April, and he's like, how about April 14th? And I'm like, well, it's my birthday, so no.
Right.
But how about the following or whatever? So we decided on the 28th. I'm like, I'm not going to cancel. That's unprofessional, Jason.
Wow. I mean, right. I mean, that's so great. I'm so glad that, because when I'm looking at your background, right, and I'm going, I know what it looks like here. Where are you? Like,
oh yeah.
But you live in LA?
I live in Los Angeles. Yes.
You do. Okay. Right.
I'm visiting my friend, and we have an Airbnb. I forget the name of the town, but it's like north of Atlanta. And it's really cute. It's in the country, and it's amazing. And I'm so happy. And oh my God, there's a bathtub and a shower outside. And I took a bath last night outside under the stars, and then a shower today outside. So it was amazing.
And you could do that in Georgia?
Well, here at this house, you can.
Oh, right. I mean, I guess I'm assuming that, I forgot Georgia has places where they have indoor plumbing. I forgot about that. So
Yeah, I'm not like in the backwoods.
So you do spend a lot of time. Well, you do spend a lot of time in the backwoods. You make a lot of horror movies. In fact,
yeah, yes, not in the backwoods necessarily. Okay, God, I've done. Okay, I gotta focus here. What have I done recently?
Okay, but let's go back before
let's
you've
go
done recently.
back.
Let's go back to I think one of the first movies I saw you in was Bubba's Dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh God,
now,
that was a while ago.
And isn't that backwoods?
That was shot in oh Jesus Christ. I'm so sorry. My brain is on vacation.
It's all good. We're just glad you're here.
Shot in Murrieta, where the director lives.
Right, yes. Hillbilly. Everything in Georgia.
Oh my God, Dustin's gonna freak if he ever watches this. He's gonna be like, "I'm not hillbilly."
Dustin already hates me. It's no worries.
No, does he? No.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. So
does
one time.
He?
Okay. Yeah. So one time, I've never shared this story, and I wasn't gonna bring it up, but since you mentioned it.
Okay.
Okay. So I was following you, and I'm watching you, and you're making movies, and he seems like a cool ass dude, and I go, yo, I want to be in his movies, right? So he puts up an open casting, and I'm like, oh my God, this is my chance, because he never casts. He's very specific, and I go, dude, this is my chance to get in with him.
Yeah.
And he writes back and he goes, dude, you're over 40. And I was like,
oh no.
I was all,
I'm sorry.
Right? I was like, oh my God.
Sorry.
That was one of my first times where I was like, bam, in this game.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Right? No, you can't. No. You and I were friends online. It has nothing to do with him.
Yeah, I know.
But after that, I was like, oh my God. Like, and you know what? To me, I just took it. As, how I was watching a video recently where someone was like, you're not pretty enough for Hollywood to a girl, right? Or, you're not a Hollywood type to Tobey Maguire or whatever they say. And so I just took it as one of those things.
Yeah. So can I comment on that?
Of course.
This is what I've realized, and this may be obvious, but it's really sunk in. Whoever you are as an actor, you will find your people, right? And not everybody's going to be a good fit. And you're going to meet some really terrible people, and you just don't work with those people. And you have to kind of like learn to, okay, that didn't work, moving on, and not like take it on. And so even like a situation like that, where it's like, okay, so that happened, and I'm so sorry because Dustin is my friend, but you got to take that as just like, yeah, okay, I wasn't the right fit for him.
Exactly. Exactly. So after I said, well, I'm quitting acting, and I didn't work for like 2 years because of that comment. I'm joking. I'm totally joking. I'm totally joking. I went, oh well, I guess I'm not right for that dude.
Yeah. Great.
And that was it. And don't get me wrong, you said there's horrible people in the industry. I want to clarify, Dustin is not a horrible person in the industry. He's not one of those. I don't want that to go on record. I don't feel that way about him. And he's been wonderful for your career. Like,
he's been great, and like he's been amazing actually, and like we're good friends now. So it's been a great relationship, and I'm so appreciative of him and like all the opportunities that he's given me. So again, you find your people, and when you find your people, it's so clear and obvious, and you continue to build those relationships with those people, right? And I was gonna say, being over 40 allows you to just kind of shrug that off, right? Because like when you're 20, you're like, oh my God, I am gonna quit acting. I'm never gonna do this again, because you take it so personally. So I think being older has its advantages in terms of like handling this industry and this business, and being able to vet people and assess people fairly quickly, versus like when you're super young. I mean, you don't even really know yourself. How are you going to know like what's going on with other people? So that's one of the advantages of being older. in the
You're right.
industry.
You're right. Because I'm like, what do I care? Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, because I had a career prior to this,
Yeah.
and
You're a model.
oh no, no, no. Well, I was, but that was included in this career.
Oh, okay.
I sold toys, and
Oh,
uh,
oh, got you. Got
yeah,
you.
yeah,
Okay.
and so after having like my own store and everything, it kind of like got I think
Oh,
what I'm saying, I guess, is I got to a point in my life where I was old enough and jaded that I could sort of take the criticisms of this industry.
right. Yes.
Did you come from any kind of corporate background? Did you leave anything? You've been an actor your
Oh
whole.
God, no. Okay, I've had a very my life. So I've always wanted to act ever since I was young, and when I was young, early 20s, I tried acting. I did a lot of things. I did theater and I took classes, but I was extremely insecure, and I didn't know myself at all. And I had to go through this process of like understanding who I am as a person and what I want, what I need, and how I feel. And so I would say that like this time around is sort of a re-entry. So there was definitely a foundation built. Like I've always studied acting. I was in improv for freaking 8 years. Recently, now I'm on a sketch team, so I'm currently doing sketch comedy, and so I've always been involved in some capacity. I just never really like went for it.
What do you say to your younger self about insecurities now?
Oh my god. Uh, so okay, two comments on that. So what I would say is great, and I would say you just got to believe in yourself, and you got to find what works for you, and you got to know your strengths. You got to know what you're passionate about and what makes you happy. But at the same time, I think we also need to go through a process of discovering that for ourselves. Because I definitely had older people tell me, oh, you're great, you're wonderful, whatever. Like everybody has that at some point in their life where people compliment them, but I didn't see it for myself. So I had to see it myself. And that's just what I had to do. I just had to go through that process. So I think, like, you know, saying one thing and experiencing is two different things. You know what I'm saying? So, like, sometimes you got to go through the process, is what I'm trying to say.
Right. Okay. So you're saying like essentially believe in yourself even when you don't, or like you get to a point where you believe in yourself, like what do you like? Is that
Yeah.
just part of like I said, like now I'm like old enough to where the criticism doesn't necessarily bother me, but it certainly at younger ages it would have. So, but
For
I
sure.
came to that through age. Like, is that
Yeah.
just something you kind of just got to get to?
Yes. I think you have to ask. I'm pausing because there's like so much I want to say about this. So I think if you have a desire to feel better and to feel confident, you're going to ask, right? You're going to, like, I want to feel confident. You're going to ask the universe, and then you're going to get the tools that you need. So for me, it has been ecstatic dance, meditation, yoga, and Tony Robbins. So, like, just engaging in these different avenues where I can help empower myself. So, if you're asking, like, okay, so let's say a person comes to me and they're like, I'm an actor, I don't feel confident. What do I do? Well, I would ask them, well, what resonates with you? Like, what makes you feel good? What do you desire? Like, do you love, dancing? Do you love singing? Do you love playing an instrument? Do you love meeting new people? And then figure out an avenue to take to empower yourself. Because sometimes we need external empowerment to get to a place of self empowerment, right? So, especially if we've grown up, and I believe everybody's grown up with some form of childhood trauma, right? Where you don't feel good enough, you don't feel worthy. somebody gave you that message at some point in time, right? Whether it's a parent or school bullies or whatever. So trying
Have
to
you met my
overcome that.
mom? Are you?
No, should I?
Oh
Is
God,
she
no! Not
gonna?
unless you want that. Not unless you
Oh,
want
I'm
to be.
sorry.
Yeah, no. I'm just. Anyway, so right. Anyway,
You're funny, Jason. You're
you just
funny.
said it sounded like you were describing my childhood. Nobody appreciates you, and your
I mean,
mom is terrible. Anyway, no, I'm
it's
just.
it's
so
true
so
for a lot of people.
right. So a lot of us have suffered. Yeah, no, it's true, or felt less than at some point. So continue. So
Yeah.
you found the toolbox.
Yeah.
That's. I mean. So tell us about the Tony Robbins thing because.
Okay.
And so I get compared to him like every day. Okay, they're
Oh my
either
God. You know what's funny? As I was gonna say, your voice, you have a similar voice to him. Like
good
a
night, folks. We're done. Thanks for
no,
being
I'm
here.
sorry. I
No, it's
and
okay.
and kind of like your energy and your demeanor, it's interesting. That's immediately as soon as I tuned in with this talk, I was like, oh my God, you remind me of Tony Robbins. Okay. I'm
So
sorry.
okay, so no,
That's
it's okay. It's not. You know what? It's okay. It's really not. I get it all the time, and they call me Tony Robbins Jr. at acting class, and so
Tony
so
Robbins
yeah.
Jr.
So
Oh
now
my
I'm
God.
TRJR. I call it. And right, and so they're always telling me I should invent this character that's like a lesser than Tony Robbins, and everybody's got a name for him. I've heard it all from Toby Slobbins to Eddie Robbins to and so you listen to him, and that and I don't want
Yeah.
to get so what are the things he says that because in sort of a humorous way,
Oh
I'm
man.
asking for fun, but what are the things he says that like is there something he said that resonates with you that
I
I
mean,
can incorporate into my act? Like
he says a lot of there's too much. I can't just summarize it in one thing.
he's too powerful.
He's too powerful. I mean, this man is powerful. Okay. But what I would, okay, let me just, and this is a horrible summarization, but if I had to summarize it, it would be let go of your old beliefs that do not serve you, create new beliefs that serve you, and take massive action. But that's a very, very, very simplified version. I mean, there's so much more to it. So, what holds us back? Beliefs, limiting beliefs, right? So, I believe I'm not pretty enough, or I believe I'm not talented enough, or whatever. I'm just making shit up. But if you have those beliefs, and you hear actors say this stuff all the time, they say, one thing I heard recently, oh, they're not casting white men anymore.
I've
Okay,
heard it a
well,
lot. Yeah.
right. Well, if you believe that, then you're going to find evidence of it. Do you know what I mean? So if that's your belief, then you will find evidence of that. But if you say, you know what, I'm a strong, powerful actor, and there are roles for me. That's all you got to say. You got to simplify. You got to flip it, right? So like whatever your limiting belief is, flip it, the positive spin. So I'm too old. I'm too old to be an actor, which is a horrible belief. But
But
flip
I
it
believe it.
to right. But I believe it. Flip it to well, you got to let go. You got to truly let go of the belief. Number one, and that's hard for a lot of people to really let go because if you're constantly seeing evidence, it feeds itself, right?
Mm.
So I'm too old to be an actor. And then you talk to somebody, you know what? You're over 40. I'm not casting you. Oh, there we go. Found evidence, right? And then you talk to somebody else. Well, I'm actually looking for somebody younger. Oh, there's more evidence, right? So you have to kind of bypass and be able to um, overlook the feedback you're getting, the negative feedback you're getting, and just say, you know what? There is a role for me. And actually, they do cast older people in roles. There are scripts that are written for older characters. So I will find my place, that kind of thing. So that has been a game changer for me in terms of acting, because I used to have a million different reasons why I couldn't be an actress, right? Okay, these are real. These are real beliefs. I didn't think I was pretty enough. I didn't think that I was talented enough. And I didn't have enough experience, or I believed I didn't have enough experience. And Then there was a point where it started to be like, oh, I'm getting older. I think I'm too old now. So it's always been something, right? No matter where I'm at in life, there's always some freaking belief as to why I can't do it. And I realized that's just an excuse that I'm creating to not move forward with my passion and my dream. So that's another thing to actors should ask themselves. Am I holding on to this belief so that I don't have to move forward? Because sometimes it's really terrifying, right? It's like, I don't know if people have a fear of success, but failure for sure. Like, oh gosh, what if I audition for 100 different projects and I don't book a single one? Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's all these fears that come up about failing. And the really only true failure is staying small and not living your passion.
I think that that's so profound because like you said, I think even I suffer from that almost fear of success. Like, what happens if I do get on a series and I'm with these people who know how to do it, and
Mm.
what if I get on, what if I get
Yep.
on with somebody and their credits are better than mine, or their or my biggest fear is that one of mine personally is that I don't have enough like muscle when I see the guys on TV and I go,
Mm.
oh my gosh, they're jacked, and I go, I'm not compared to them. So that's another thing I do to talk myself out of it, you
Right.
know. So you're talking about essentially that replacing those negative thoughts with a positive thought train is essential.
Yeah. A must. You have to. You can't spend your life. I mean, I would say this to any human on the planet, but especially actors. You can't spend your time indulging in these limiting beliefs because you won't get very far. You're always going to have an excuse. And and then you're going to see evidence and then you're going to say, "See, I was right." You know?
Right.
So just move past that shit, man. Like
You know,
and it's go
and
ahead.
you mentioned the guy, or you mentioned the people who say there's no roles for white men. I was recently on a site on Facebook, one of the pages, and it
Uh,
said, I saw a guy and he says, "Oh, I quit acting because there's no roles for white guys." And I went and looked at him and I was like, "Yo, dude, I just don't think there's roles for haters like you, man. Like, because I'm auditioning
exactly.
all the time,
Yeah.
and I'm not landing anything, but there must be roles for people like me because I'm auditioning."
What's I mean, is anybody watching Netflix or HBO, whatever channel you want to watch? There are white men acting, so it's
Right.
it's not like zero white men are acting. So yes, and
Right, right.
right.
And so even in like we were just watching The Punisher. I mean, the bad guy's a white dude, the lead's a white
Hmm.
dude.
Yeah,
And so there's a lot of roles for everybody. I think is what.
everybody, young, old, every ethnicity, it doesn't matter, and even more so now because the industry has opened up and people have decided to write characters that are of different ethnicities and different genders and different sexual orientations. So that's great. So there's more opportunities now than ever. Does that mean there's more competition? Probably yes. But you know what? To me, that just says, well, level up. Like, like
Right.
make yourself better and do what you need to do to get better so that you are more desirable. I mean, the worst thing, and I'm guilty of it myself, but the worst thing to me is when an actor is like throwing a pity party and not taking any action and saying, well, I don't know, my agent hasn't called me. It's like, well, what are you doing to like further yourself? What are you doing to get better? Are you going out? Are you meeting people? Are you taking casting workshops? Or whatever it is, are you doing that? And if the answer is no, then stop throwing your pity party and do something about it.
Right. I have a pity party all the time, and nobody ever
Do you?
comes. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
I go up and down. I mean, because I take the actions and stuff, so I go up and
yeah.
down. But have you noticed such a thing as the spring slowdown? Is that a thing?
Oh, yeah. You were talking about that earlier. I believe that we all individually have our own spring slowdown, and that could be in any season. So, like me personally, I'm not experiencing that. I just shot 3 different projects in the last, let's see, between March and April, and I just got cast in. Um, one, two. I have two coming up, and possibly a third. I'm just trying to remember. Yeah, no, actually, definitely a third. So I have three coming up. So I don't feel like things are slow for me,
And
personally.
and are you working different markets? Are you working like in Georgia there? Are you working in LA?
No,
Like only in LA?
LA only. L-
Wow.
LA only. I have connected with a director in Kentucky, and there's a possibility, a strong possibility of a movie later in the year, but it's not finalized. But other than that, no, just LA. I mean, I would love to work in Georgia. Oh my God, that would be a dream. I'm just here visiting on vacation. So
Right, but I mean, I figured if you could go there, you could. A lot of people have agents in different cities. I
yeah.
don't.
Oh, where are your agents? Just in LA?
Just here in LA, yeah. Because I
Okay.
don't. Again, maybe I have limiting beliefs, but I'm like, you
Oh
know,
God.
I'm not going to try the New York market or the Atlanta market. I mean, I see most of
Oh.
that stuff is casted here. Cast here. I'm sorry, casted is not a word.
Oh. Cast. Yeah, we don't say the casted word.
Casted, dude. You get thrown out for that. But yeah, no, they're
No,
cast
I
here.
know. It's an easy mistake. Um, you're saying locally, like they cast locally, like Georgia is more local,
I'm saying like when I
or
see like large projects like say The Walking Dead or things like that film in
oh
Atlanta, often they're
yes.
cast here before they even shoot.
I am not 100% sure on that. I know that I know a person that lives in Atlanta that was going out for Walking Dead. I know a person that was living in Texas that was going out for Walking Dead. So it seems like it's a little more like South versus LA. Maybe they're getting the names in LA
That's what I
because
mean. The
yes,
the
yeah, the
major the
names
parts,
for
right?
sure. But like the under five or the smaller parts, definitely
Those would be local
locally.
cast, right?
Yes,
Even
yeah,
even when we shot for Warner Brothers in San Francisco, the names were cast and
yeah,
the the extras were played by us locals.
right.
But
So,
some of us did get to audition for that because we were local.
oh really?
So have you ever
Oh,
seen
that's
that?
cool.
Like, I mean, I guess if they would open it up to locals too, that would be all right. But typically they're
Yeah,
so you don't have
I'm not
agents
really
around the
sure.
country, I guess is what I'm saying.
No, I
No,
just have
okay.
one agent in LA and one manager in LA, and my agent in LA also has a branch in Atlanta, but I've never gone out for anything in Atlanta that I know of. I think one thing was in Mississippi or something. I don't know. Anyway,
Right. I get told
yeah.
I'm being submitted for projects in New Mexico. I'm being submitted for projects in Miami, but I
Oh,
never get. I've never got even an audition from that.
right.
So
Right. Yeah, similar
I
to
mean,
me. I get submitted, but like I didn't even get an audition. So
right. And are you okay with traveling for 4 days? You'll get a per diem, and I'm like, well, yeah, like
yeah. Oh my God. Yes.
right.
Sign me up.
Per diem is the actor's dream, right? It's
Oh my
like
God, yes.
you're gonna give me money too, and then but you can't leave the set. I don't know what you're gonna spend it on, but hey, you give it to me. That's cool.
Right, yes.
Let's talk about
Yeah.
some of. I want to move into some of your illustrious career. I wanted to talk about specifically. Do you remember the Upright Citizens Brigade?
Oh yeah, I studied there.
Oh yeah, of course. Who isn't? Of course, right? Well, of course. I mean, no, that's a huge honor.
I mean, yeah.
I, I mean,
No, it was great. Yeah, it was cool.
okay. So, but tell us. I mean, is that all you could say about it? Because I think it's like one of the
Okay.
most special things in the world. Like,
Um, so sorry, I'm just adjusting. I'm on a hammock right now, so I'm kind of like sinking down.
actors like hashtag.
The actor's life, just lounging in
Right.
Georgia on a
This is
hammock.
this is how we make it look, folks. Even though, right? Like, look at
Even
me. I'm on
though,
vacation. Yeah.
yeah, busting my ass every day. Okay.
Image is everything, isn't it?
I know it is. It totally is. Um,
So, okay. So the
Upright
Upright Citizens
Citizens
Brigade.
Brigade. So I started studying there, gosh, it's been a while. I think 2013. And I had a good experience. I learned a lot. They're very tough. UCB is very tough. Like tough in the sense that they push you to be great. And I like that. Like I don't want an easy road because then, I don't learn as much. So I went through the whole program, got accepted into advanced, but never went further, partially because I think at that point, I don't remember what I was doing, but then also the pandemic happened. So like, I didn't really do no, I didn't do any improv during the pandemic. So I didn't really do much of anything except work out and lift weights. And then I started acting roles in October 2020. But UCB is great. It has great teachers. I would say that, in all honesty, it's a little bit elitist. It's a little like cliquey. It's a little like, oh, you're either like in with us or you're not. So, and that was a little off-putting because I'm involved with the PAC Theater now, and they're very accepting and inclusive. It's like, hey, cool, great to meet you. You're one of us now. And I love that. So I really appreciate that about the PAC Theater. And they offer improv and sketch classes. So, but UCB, I don't know if it's.
Well, tell us about the pack then. I mean, because I wanted to
Yeah.
talk more about your improv training. You have a lot of it. So,
Well, the improv was UCB. And then I did this thing called Improv Boot Camp, which was at the Clubhouse in Hollywood, who is owned by, hold on one second, Beck Drysdale. She's a writer for Key and Peele. I know she's done more recent stuff, but I just don't know what that is.
sure.
But she's a really great professional, talented writer and an amazing person. She owns the Clubhouse, and it's a private place for theater shows to happen, improv shows, sketch shows. People just rent it out. So anyway, they had Improv Boot Camp, and it was 5 days a week for 2 hours every day at noon to 2 or noon to 3. And you just do reps. And so that really, really helped me get better, because I was so like nervous in my head, like insecure, like afraid, I'm gonna make a mistake. And that helped me kind of like burn through that. And that was great. And that was inclusive. And I felt included there. That didn't feel elitist like you said.
Right. So so now you're at the pack and you perform under the name Peach.
Yeah. So my sketch team is named Peach. And I think we have 9 or 10 people. We have a couple people that were away and now they're coming back. But we perform the second Wednesday of every month. So I think May show is going to be May 11th or something. So yeah, every month we perform, and it's only like a 25-minute show, and we write and then we act and we put on a show. And we also are coupled up with a team called Rabble Rabble. So it's actually an hour long, but you get 2 separate teams. Yeah.
And can anyone come to that?
Yeah, we sell tickets every month.
There's a fee. There's an admission fee, right? I mean,
yeah, it's like $7.50.
Sure, it's nominal.
Yeah,
but people can, the public can come to it,
and the public can come.
That's at the PAC Theater.
The PAC Theater in Hollywood on Sunset Boulevard. Wait, Santa Monica. Sorry, Santa Monica Boulevard.
They're all the same over there. I know.
Yeah.
That between Ventura and Santa Monica, all the names, all the boulevards you hear in songs, they're all right there in that one little area.
Oh my God! Right? Yes.
I was on Ventura Boulevard the other day, like, like Tom Petty, and
Tom
I get all
Petty,
excited,
yes.
right? People always ask me what's the difference between where I live, like in San Francisco and LA, and I'm like, the difference is here is like electric, like here, like everything is cool, and San Francisco is like not happy, it's a lot more dismal than.
The rent's too high in San Francisco.
It's the same. Yeah.
Is it the same now?
Yeah, it's the same.
LA's
yeah.
finally
as here.
caught up.
Yeah,
Jesus.
It's because that was the thing when people said to us, "You're going to move to LA? Aren't you worried about the traffic? Aren't you worried about the cost of living?" And we're like, "It's identical."
It's identical. Yeah.
The difference here in LA is there's a lot more car crashes than in the Bay.
Every day. Every day the freeways. Hazard ahead.
Hazard reported. Right. I'm like, dude, stop saying it already. I'm just trying to listen to the song.
I know. Shut up. I'm just gonna go anyway.
So right. What am I? And then there's a whole bunch of those. Would you like to save 4 minutes? Would you like to save 3 minutes? Oh. Yeah. And then you see everyone doing that. Right. You no longer save 7 minutes because 700 people went that way.
You can't all save 4 minutes, Jason. That's the moral of the story today.
I think that's think positive, and you can't all save 4 minutes, right? So
Yes.
So,
Oh my
so
gosh.
let's talk about the first thing you wrote. Don't kill my baby
Oh my God.
as
Blast from the
as a
past.
comedic sketch. How is that funny?
Did you watch it?
No, but I needed to know how. I didn't get to see it.
Oh. Okay, you got to watch it. So that was actually for my sketch 3 class at the Pack Theater. And I just had this story and I was like, I'm going to do this. And so I submitted it and people voted. They're like, yep, do it. So the it's actually a commercial. And I don't want to give it away because it's a really, like, if you watch it, you're at the end, you're just like, oh my God, what the heck was that? So I just would encourage
Where
people to
can it be
watch it.
seen? Where can people see it?
It's
Because
on
I didn't find it.
it's on YouTube. Oh, you have to type in "Don't Kill My Baby" movie.
And hope the feds don't show up at your door, right? Like hope that Big Brother isn't watching your typing. How to chloroform a person? The movie.
Spoiler: there's a real baby in this movie, a live
And
human
then
baby.
at the end, it says no babies were harmed in the making of this movie.
Yeah, that actually. Wait, did I say that? I think
No,
I
I
did.
just made that up. But I mean, if you
Oh
did,
no,
I mean,
no, I forgot. I did say something funny. It's obviously a joke.
right. Anyway, so it just sounded like a funny title for a comedy.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some of the other movies that you're in. You because you have a lot of stuff.
Okay.
What about the Faces of Dying series?
So those were anthologies, and we could write our own stuff, just write and make our own stuff and put it in the movie.
And
So
what did
that
you
was
put
like,
in there?
so I wrote one. It was about a cult. I forgot the name of it. Oh my God, this is so bad. Uh, but it was about a cult and initiating this woman into a cult, and then she like gets away. It was just it was short. It was like 5 minutes or something. Yeah.
And is it supposed to look real? Like it because the faces
Yes.
it
Yes.
it's supposed to seem like found footage
Yes.
because of the Faces of Death series, which it looks like it's based off of.
Yes, that is
It,
precisely.
that's what you were going for.
Yeah. And this is all produced by Dustin Ferguson.
Oh, those are his too. Wow. Okay.
Yes. I've done a lot of, I don't know the number, but I've done a lot of projects with Dustin.
I think it's something like 400. So
412.
the 12th are the 12 more coming out, right? So what is with names like Ebola Rex versus Murder Hornets?
So Dustin did a movie called Ebola Rex, and then he also did a movie called Murder Hornets, and then he just combined the two. I
And
wasn't in the first two. I just came in for the battle.
for the verses, and
Yeah,
do
the
you
verses.
you guys are doing that with a green screen? How, like
Um,
how is that done? I
no,
mean,
I
on the
we
indie level, how are you doing? How are you doing those dinosaurs?
Oh, so he has a CGI guy that he hires, and so we actually shot in the would you call it the backwoods of
Yeah, see, I
Marietta?
knew it. Right, I knew it. You're out there making horror movies in the
No.
backwoods, like.
Okay, you were right this whole time. You were right the whole time. No, we just so basically I acted as though this is where my improv skills came in. There was a big old dinosaur attacking me, but really it was just CGI'd in later.
and
So
I haven't I didn't see that film. I mean that,
that's okay.
but do you end up getting eaten? Do people get eaten? I'm assuming they get eaten.
Spoiler alert, I die.
You die in the movie, and
I get smashed by the dinosaur, the
that is
T-Rex.
that's pretty. How many times have you died on film? You think?
Oh my gosh. I should be prepared to answer this. I've died at least one, two, three. I'm just gonna say 5, but that could be wrong.
Do you have a favorite death?
The dinosaur one was pretty cool.
That was probably your favorite one.
Yeah, because like it's not every day you get to die via being stomped by a dinosaur.
Right?
Like, how many people can put that on their resume? I was stomped by a T-Rex.
I'm sure your resume reads that way. Like in this movie, I was stomped by a T-Rex. I know how resumes look. I'm sure it doesn't say that, but you're right.
Oh,
so you have
yeah.
and then you're in other movies like Quakesaurus,
Yeah.
and
Quakesaurus is not out yet.
right. No, it's
It's
coming. Yeah,
it's it's coming, guys.
watch out for Quakesaurus. It,
It's another dinosaur film, and that one I believe I live. I live.
oh,
Yeah.
oh man, because you could have said you died twice. The Quakesaurus,
No, the Quakesaurus didn't get me that time.
What is the Quakesaurus? It's
It's
just
a
a
it's is it a pterodactyl? Will they fly? The flying
oh,
one.
it flies. Oh, okay, that could be cool.
Is that a pterodactyl?
Yeah, yeah, the
I'm
pterodactyl
not up
flies.
on
Yeah.
my dinosaur
You weren't
terminology.
prepared for the dinosaur quiz of the day.
God, I should have
So,
studied.
let me move to another thing. You recently asked
Yeah.
a question on your forum or on your page, I guess, on your thing. You asked
Yeah.
when casting directors are looking for an actor, that what qualities do they value most?
I did ask that, and you've done your research, Jason.
I'm like the best host ever, and
you have thoroughly. I'm afraid what's going to come up now.
Thank you. Oh my God, when Michael Moutsasos was on, I called him out for seeing a cockroach at Denny's, and he was like, "How the hell do you know these things?" But
that's hilarious.
But so what is the answer you felt you received? What is the qualities that what did you learn from that?
Hardly anybody commented. But
it had like 28 comments.
Did it?
Yeah, but I didn't read them because I wanted you to answer.
You know what? I put it on Instagram too. That's right. Nobody commented on Instagram. That's what it was. No, I'm thinking back. Okay, I'm remembering now. Sorry, I'm a little slow right now. I'm on vacation.
It's all good.
I'm remembering now. It was like, know your lines, show up on time, do your job. Like pretty obvious stuff. I think I was just searching for, is there something I'm missing?
Right.
Like, is there some secret thing that I don't know about that directors and producers and casting directors are looking for? But I kind of got the very similar obvious answers of like, yeah, be a professional. To me, they're obvious. Maybe they're not obvious to other people, but to me, they're very obvious. But like, I consider myself, and I can say this with full confidence, to be a professional. Like, I show up, I know my lines, I freaking give it my all. I give 110%. I don't just half-ass it, and I'm not like, oh, whatever, who cares? Regardless of the project I'm on, I don't care what project it is. I don't care how cheesy it is or how low budget it is. If I'm getting paid, not getting paid, or sorry, if I'm getting paid or not getting paid, it doesn't matter. I'm going to show up and give it my all. So to me, I was already doing that. I think I was just looking for, like, is there something else? So nothing really stood out to me in the answers that I got that was like, oh yeah, I didn't think about that. People say like easy to work with. I'm super easy to work with. I take direction very well. Like whatever you want me to do, I'll do with it. Obviously there's a boundary, but you know what I'm saying? But like, whatever the scene needs, I will do my absolute very, very, very best to.
I love that you mentioned to a certain extent. One of the questions I like to ask is, okay, like for me personally, there's specifically the scene at the end of Jaws where he is like pinned against the wall and the shark is coming in and the water is rising. I think I would have actually died. Like I think they would have I think they would have filmed my death. And so I don't think I could shoot that scene. Is there a scene you can't do? Spiders, snakes, is there a scene you can't film?
Oh gosh. If I believe that I could get seriously injured, then I would say no on that. So if we're dealing with like venomous snakes, if it's like a non-venomous snake and it's, a nice snake, okay, no problem. I don't want spiders crawling on my face necessarily, no. If it's some crazy stunt where I could seriously injure myself, no. Um, I think what comes up more so for me because I'm a woman is anything sexual. So I have to really like know. So, okay, for instance, I was in The Last Roommate, and that involved some intimate scenes. So I had to kiss my co-star Eric Larson, and we like got together and talked about this, and I had to like know what I was getting into, and I talked to Dustin about it, and I was like, okay, I'm willing to do this, I'm not willing to do that. And like there was a nude shower scene, but I wasn't actually nude. I was
Right.
wearing a strapless bra, so it looks like we're nude, but I'm not nude.
Right.
So I think like that's what comes up for me more so when I think about like boundaries is like sex stuff. I will not do. Oh, there's a bumblebee.
Okay, so
Sorry,
clearly we've
bumblebee.
established you won't work with murder hornets.
Yeah, I'm not gonna work with live murder hornets. Only CGI.
Oh,
um,
right.
yeah,
So you mentioned earlier about vetting people. As a
yeah,
woman, because I vet people, and
yeah.
as a man, 6'4" man, I vet people. So I can only imagine.
Are you
Yeah,
6'4"?
yeah, I'm giant. Yeah.
Oh
So
shit.
right, I know
Okay.
that's why there's no roles for tall people. I've been reading that. No, I'm just
Tall
kidding.
people can do
I'm
whatever they
joking.
want.
We can reach whatever we want. There's that. But I can clean the ceiling without having to get a ladder.
Right, there you go.
How do you be certain? I mean, I know nobody's 100%, but what
Yeah,
extra steps do you take to vet people to make sure, like you said, working with Eric Larson, working with Dustin, you had an understanding on the set.
yeah.
What steps online are you taking, or can you take for a new actor potentially to prevent getting in a harmful situation?
Okay, good question. So I always look people up on IMDb. So if somebody is on Facebook and they're like, yeah, I'm doing this project and that project and over here and this and that, and then I look at their IMDb and they have 0 credits, I'm like, okay, I guess. I guess what you
Bravo.
say is
That's really good
happening,
advice. Yeah. Keep
but
going though. Yeah.
probably not. Yeah,
Right.
so I looked them up on IMDb, and then I oh gosh, this is a big one. So back to the having a lot of Facebook friends, a lot of people know each other. And I pay attention to if people are talking trash on Facebook, if they're talking shit and they're being unprofessional, I pay attention to that. And I'm like, oh, this person's very unprofessional because they're just like talking shit. So that goes in the back of my mind of like, okay. So if they're going to talk shit about somebody else online, who's to say they're not going to do it to me in the future? So I think people need to be a little more discerning when they post things on Facebook. Like they shouldn't be complaining about every little thing or other people. That's a private matter. Handle that privately. So
I think you and I are seeing the same people. I think you and I are seeing the
probably,
same. I think we know, because you're talking about, and I'm
probably,
going, oh, I know what she's referring to. Yeah.
yeah,
So right. So okay. So right. So be really vet is looking them up and checking their credits.
yeah,
Facebook is obviously a good way to do it.
yeah.
Um,
Even asking around, and if usually, and I've had this experience with a couple of people. I'm not going to name them, but a couple of people in the industry, I've heard things about them, and I'm like, huh, that's interesting. And then I hear another thing about them, and then it's kind of like, okay, these particular individuals are kind of doing the same thing over and over and over. So if you start to hear things, you should, I'm not saying that you should 100% be like, oh, well, forget them then. But you should kind of like put it in the back of your mind of like, huh, okay, that's interesting. Because if you start to hear more than one person saying, yeah, this person robbed me, or this person stole money, or this person showed up on set, pretended they were sick, and then just left for the day. Like, then you're like, okay, I probably don't want to work with this person, whether it's an actor or a director, producer, whoever it is, because you need to stay. there's a line, right? There's a line of professionalism. You need to stay above that line and not engage with people below that line, because it's not going to do anything for your career to like hang out with these people who are unprofessional and just not treating this like a career, you know? Um,
Right.
they're just treating it like, oh yeah, whatever, I'm an actor, who cares? Like, I don't want to hang out with those people. I want to hang out with people who are like, this is my career and I want to be serious about this, take it seriously, and I'm going to be a professional. So yeah, so vetting people, also just reading people's energy. And I would say for women particularly, and I haven't, honestly, I really have not had this experience um recently. I mean, when I was younger, a little bit, I guess, but I can't really recall. If a dude, director, producer, even another actor is like propositioning a female, like, oh, well, yeah, I want you to do this nude scene, or I want you to do
Hmm.
this sex scene, or oh, yeah, I want you to make out with me in this. That's probably a red flag, and you probably need to walk and not worry, because I know the feeling when you get offered something and you're like, I don't really want to do this, but it's a credit and it's experience and I'll have footage for my reel. I know that push pull of like, I don't really want to do this, but yet at the same time, maybe I should because it's another opportunity. You got to just let those opportunities go because it's not worth it. Like, especially if you feel uncomfortable or unsafe. And
I'm so glad
especially,
that you mentioned that, because
yeah,
I see what look like director predators.
yes,
They always write scenes where the girls are on girls. They always write scenes
yes,
where the girls are on them. And I want to
mm-hmm,
scream.
mm-hmm,
I want to tell people run away from this project, but at the same time, I can't say nothing. And like you said, it's a
right,
credit. It might be, and who am I to judge? But to me, it does look like exploitation.
yes,
You know,
100%, yeah.
at, at what point is it not working? It's exploitation. I mean, I think that's what you're saying is look for the difference.
Yes, look for the difference. And also just asking yourself, like, okay, so it's different if, like, I don't know, Quentin Tarantino approaches you and is like, hey, I want you to do this topless scene. Okay, that might be worth considering, right? Okay, you gotta, like, what's the script? What's the scene? What's going on? How much am I getting paid? And assess it, right? That's a different situation than some dude with no credits on IMDb who's like, yeah, I want you to do this topless scene. That's
Right,
not really going to help your career in any way, shape, or form.
right. And I think that's harsh reality,
Yeah,
because I think people think they're gathering footage, they're getting these things they need, and really all
yeah,
they're getting is uh, I don't know, taken advantage of.
yeah.
We're running out of time. I love talking to you, but tell us,
Me too.
tell us what you have coming up. Let's get some self promotion. What do you got coming on that you're excited about? You said you had 5 more movies, 12 more Dustin projects, but tell us about what you're really pumped about. What can we expect?
Well, to be honest with you, any project that I take on, I'm excited about. So,
Right, right.
uh,
I love working.
I do. I love
Yeah.
working.
Uh,
Um, okay, so I recently shot two different vampire projects. One, I play a vampire, one, I do not play a vampire. So the one where I don't play a vampire is called The Shadows. And that's with the director, Alan Olivius. I've worked with him before. I worked with him on The Preserver, and he's an up and coming filmmaker, and he's great. He's awesome. I love working with him, and he's serious about it. We've had conversations about how he wants to make this his full-time career, and so I see him taking those steps to do that.
I
So
love
that's
working
really,
for people like that. I love working for people who are
yes,
passionate like that. Right.
yes.
Anyway, continue. Sorry.
No problem. And so that I don't know 100% where it's going to be released, but it would definitely be available to be viewed either on Tubi or YouTube or something like that. So I'm really excited about that because it's very artistic and he put a lot of thought into it. He wrote it and is directing it. And then I also shot uh, my friend Christine Twyman, her web series. It's called Bite, where I play a vampire, and that was super fun because who doesn't love to play a vampire?
Right.
um, that's the one where I don't know if you ever saw a picture, but I'm wearing a black wig. I have
I
bangs
did
and
see
black
it.
hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
It's a cool
that was
look.
super.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that look.
And
Uh,
you just turned 258 years old, if
I
I'm not
did.
mistaken. That's
I'm
right.
two. I'm 258. I don't look a day over 250. Thank you very much. Um, I'm a vampire in real life, so
And
I have a long career ahead of me.
I knew that actually. And I saw at one point you were a ghost. And it's funny because you put jokes
Yeah.
online and people take you seriously.
Oh my God, Jason, it's the funniest thing. My favorite was the April Fool's joke where I'm like, that's it. I'm giving up acting. I'm moving to Beaufort, Wyoming. Bye, guys. See you later. Don't contact me. Oh my God. People were like,
I I
oh,
saw
best of luck. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Oh, but you're such a great actress. Oh, I'm like, yo, it's April 1st.
I saw that whole thing. I saw that whole thing transpire, and I thought because my wife says to me, Jay, you know you can do these things. People know you're an actor, and I go, no, they don't. They think I'm really serious, and I could put this joke on, and people don't get it. And so
Yeah,
you
they don't
were,
get it.
yeah, it was, and people don't get it. They take it like you were like, yo, I'm quitting acting, and so many
Yeah,
people, like it was
so many.
probably one
Like
of the
half.
most, yeah, like it was so many replies. I was like,
Yeah.
dude, and then you had to make it, hey folks, I'm not really doing that
I
post
know. I always have to do that to save people, and then people get butthurt. Oh, so one person unfriended me over it.
over that joke.
Yeah. Sayonara, sucker.
Right, right. Sorry, take it easy, but yeah, you know what? There's more jokes on the way. You better hold on.
There's more jokes. I secretly kind of like to mess with people.
Right.
I'll be honest with you. It's
And
funny.
it's funny. You know, it is, and I get it. And
I'm not trying to hurt people.
that's the thing. If it's if it's harmless fun.
Yeah.
So tell the people before I let you go. And
Yeah.
I've had the most wonderful time. Thank you so much for
Me
being here today.
too.
Tell the people where they can find you. Where if they want to see your unfunny jokes and your I'm
You know where
joking,
you
your
can
April
find
Fool's
me?
jokes,
Here's where you can find me.
right? They're
There's where you can
chilling
find me.
in the backwoods of some
Straight
state.
up in the backwoods of Georgia, y'all.
So
Okay.
so
You can find me.
where can they
I'm
see your
sorry.
work? How about that?
My work is okay.
I'm
Dang
gonna
it.
have
I
to
need
ask a
to.
real specific question to get the answer, right?
So some of it's on YouTube. Some of it's gonna be on Tubi. A lot of Dustin's website, which I don't know it right off the top of my head. Dustin Ferguson. If you find Dustin Ferguson, you can find me. Um, but I should make a post where it's like, hey, here's where you can find my stuff. Just because a lot of people do ask me, like, where can I watch your stuff? It's kind of like scattered. It's scattered all over the
Do you
place.
have an Instagram or a Facebook or anything
Oh
you want
yeah,
to? I mean,
yeah, I have an Instagram. Yeah, follow me on Instagram. I'll follow you back, but
at
don't unfollow me 3 days later. At Traci Burr 8, the number 8. So my name, the number 8.
there you go. Any last words for the up and coming actor?
This was super fun. Thank you for having me so much.
My pleasure.
Great to meet you.
You too, right?
I will say, I think that you should do the Tony Robbins character because sometimes the obvious choice is the best choice, and work with what you have. And whoever you are, you're special and unique, and take that specialness about you and use it. Don't push it away.
I love it. Doesn't get any better than that. Traci Burr, everybody, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much,
And
Jason.
guys, thanks to Warren Madden, and we will see you
Thank
next
you,
week.
Warren.
See you next week.
Okay,
Coffee Breaks Thursdays with Jason Zlakis.
bye. Thank you so much.